Nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Maple, and I'll be doing your physio appointment today. Now, my specialty is in joints, so things like your knees and your wrists. But it sounds like today we're going to be looking at your shoulder. Is that correct? Great. Now I have your medical file, which your family doctor sent over. But first I'd like to just review some of the information with you and make sure that it's all correct and that you're still in the same state. Okay? Great. So, it looks like you had a little fall while you were skiing, and then your shoulder hurt the day after. Okay, makes sense. And your family doctor diagnosed you with a minor tear to your rotator cuff. Yeah? Perfect. Yeah, I did look at your x-ray, and so far I agree that it does look fairly minor, but that's why we're here today, just to make sure that there's no problems that were missed in the x-ray. Great. So your doctor decided that you didn't need surgery, which is great, and then he prescribed you anti-inflammatories, yeah, and physio appointments, so welcome. Great. And just checking, you don't have any allergies at all, correct? Latex is all good? Perfect. And since your original appointment, would you say that your pain level has stayed the same, gotten worse, or gotten better? Pretty similar, okay. Maybe a bit better, that's great. Are there any activities that you've noticed that make the pain worse? Yeah, that'll happen. And any activities where you feel better? Yeah, okay, great. Okay, you got that. Okay, I believe that's enough information for now, so let's take a little look. I'll start with a visual inspection, and we're just going to be looking at your injured side and your good side and making sure everything's symmetrical, everything's operating fairly similarly, and checking the range of motion on your injured side. Okay? Now, before I start, I do want to stress, if at any point you feel uncomfortable or you feel like the pain is a lot worse than usual, please stop whatever action you're doing and we'll figure out some other way to test it, okay? Yeah, your comfort and your health are my biggest priority. Okay? Perfect. So let's start with your hands on your sides. Great. And lift them up slowly so they're parallel to the floor. Perfect. Now can you do some little circles? Any pain there? A little bit? Okay. And what about some backward circles? Would you say you had more pain or less pain for that? Okay. No, that's completely normal. Yeah. Now, can you take your arms and slowly bring them in front of you? Great. And slowly put them back down. Okay. Now, one last one. Can you bring your arms so that they're coming backwards? Perfect. Everything's looking good. I'll just make a couple notes. Okay. Okay, now I am going to start with the physical examination. I just have some gloves here. And what I'm just going to do is apply some gentle pressure to each of your shoulders. Again, we're looking at symmetry and making sure that the bones are sitting in a similar way. Yeah, so do I have permission to touch you? Perfect. And again, this shouldn't hurt at all, or if it does, just a little bit more than normally, but anything more than that, let me know. Does that hurt at all? No? Great. What about with a little bit more pressure? A little bit there? Okay. Okay, it's feeling good. I'm gonna check your good shoulder now. Yeah, so there's just 3 major bones here that I'm mostly checking. There's the clavicle, or your collarbone. Then there's the scapula, or your shoulder blade. And then your humerus from your arm, which I think is the funniest bone in the body. Nope, not a fan of the dad jokes. That's okay. Okay, now let's just look at both of these. Does that hurt there? No? Good. Okay, everything's looking great so far. So now we're just going to do a couple strength tests, but don't worry, everything is going to be very, very gentle. We're not going to lift up giant bars of weight just yet. So for the first one, I'm going to try to hold your arms in place at your side, and you're going to try to push them out, okay? And push. Perfect. And now the opposite. I'm going to try to push them up. If you can try to keep them in place. And go. Great. Now put them parallel to the floor again. I'm going to put my hands on top and you're going to push up. Okay. And go. Perfect. And opposite again. I'm going to push up and you're going to push down. And go. Great so far. Now if you can just bend your elbows at 90 degrees. And again, I'm going to push your arms up and you try to push them down. And go. Perfect. And again, the opposite. I'll be going down and you push up. And go. Great. I'm just going to make a couple more notes. Yeah, there is a little bit of weakness on your injured side, but that's completely normal, and it's nothing out of the ordinary that I would expect from this injury, so it's looking good so far. Nothing to make me worry. Don't you worry. Okay, and for the last part of the inspection, I'm just going to do a couple measurements of your arms. Again, this will look for symmetry, but the most important thing is this will give us a baseline so that when you come back in future visits, we can make sure that nothing is shifting or moving into a different place. Okay, so arms at your side. Perfect. 2. Great. And this one. Perfect. And now at your parallel to the floor. Great. And the other one. Perfect. Now, from that position, can you almost extend your shoulder further? Again, don't go further than is non-painful for you, okay? Just do this arm. 2, 3, yep. And now the other one. Perfect. And let's do the same at your sides, where you kind of pull them as far down as you can. Great. And this one. Perfect. Okay, so now for most people's favorite part of their physio appointment, I'm just going to give you a small, gentle shoulder massage. Now the reason is because you've injured something integral to your movement, some of the muscles in the area may have either been overworking or just working in a different way than they're used to overcompensate for your injury. Yeah. I'm gonna do both of the shoulders, and again, this will just help me to confirm that there's nothing that's different between them. Okay? Is that gentle enough for you? Okay, I'm going to move to the back. That area hurts a little bit. Okay. Nice and gentle. And now the sides. Can you try extending them from here? Perfect. Okay, great. I'll just take these off because I won't need them anymore. Just to finish off our appointment, I'm going to be going through some exercises with you. And these exercises I'd like for you to do at home, but don't worry, we're going to print out a full care package for you with all the exercises we're about to go through. So don't worry about memorizing them or anything like that. Okay? Perfect. So the first few may sound like things that you did in your grade school gym class, but the first one we're going to do is just reach out in front of you and just gradually larger circles. And then whenever you feel too much pain, just stop. And then you're going to do the same at your sides. Okay? Yeah, all the exercises you'll do both the left and the right. And then this way it'll help you see the difference between the two. But also it means that one of your shoulders won't get left out of the stretching, because then maybe you'll injure your other shoulder. And you don't want 2 injured shoulders, do you? Exactly. So the next one, I'm sure you've done it before, but put your arm in front of you and pull very gently until you feel a very small stretch. Again, you don't want to push yourself too hard. It's not going to help you heal any faster. If anything, it might re-injure yourself. So everything as gentle as possible, especially with your injured side. Yeah. So next, it's going to be very similar to the other one. You're going to reach across to your other shoulder and then grab your elbow and push up. Again, very gently until you feel a slight stretch. Okay? Perfect. And then we're going to do one that would probably be best with a chair or a table. Basically, you're going to hold the chair or table for support while you bend over and kind of dangle your arms, and then you're just going to swing them a little bit. So side to side, back and forth, little circles. Yeah, just anything to get the blood flowing and get it moving in many different areas and directions. Then, if you have any sort of stick, maybe a broom handle or a mop handle, you're going to hold it behind your back, and then you're just going to pull your arms away from you and up. This one's probably going to hurt the most, so be very careful on this one that you don't go too far too fast. And then you're going to take the same broom in your front and move it up as high as you can. Again, pay a lot of attention to when you're extending upwards past your shoulder. That will probably have a little bit of pain there. Okay? Then the last exercise we'll do is you'll just stand in a doorway with your forearms against the door frame and then just try to push outwards. Yeah? Yeah, like I said, I'll have a full workout guide for you, and it will have timings and number of reps and certain points of the day which would be the best. Yeah. Okay, let me just finish off your paperwork here. Okay, I think we are all done here. So I agree with your doctor's original prognosis. I do believe that you have a small tear in your rotator cuff, but your range of movement and everything else seems to be sitting really well. So it's very, very likely that this will be able to heal on its own as long as you keep up with the exercises and do what you're supposed to. Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to prescribe you 5 more sessions at this time, 2 weeks apart. So are you free 2 weeks from today at the same time? Perfect. I'll send you an email reminder after we finish up here. And I'm also going to ask you to avoid any heavy lifting, especially for the next 2 weeks, and especially anything overhead that could really re-injure yourself. Okay? Yeah. I can write you a special doctor's note for your work if you need an exemption. Yeah, perfect. I'll get that to you as well. Perfect. And like I said, your exercises will be in your packet, but I would like you to try to do it twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon or evening, and try to ice it afterwards for around 5 minutes if possible. Yeah. And if at any point during the day it feels especially painful, feel free to ice it, but only for around 5 minutes at a time. Okay? Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Perfect. Well, if you think of anything, don't hesitate to write us an email. If you can, please wait by reception for about 5 minutes, and I'll have the receptionist print you out your exercise and routine packet. Okay? Awesome. Well, I will see you in 2 weeks then. Have a nice time.